Hey everyone, Tactics here with some exciting updates to the 9.1 PTR. I don't want to ramble on for too long here, so make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let's hop right into it. Account-wide Solash. Yes, that's right, Solash is going to be account-wide in 9.1, at least to a degree, but it's not happening in the last patch of the expansion, which is what a lot of doomsayers were kind of saying, so very, very happy. Nothing but positivity about this change. So basically what's going to happen is that Ven'ari is going to be selling these packages of Solash here. There's a big one, a 1300 one, and a smaller 251. But basically those cost a small premium, so the 251 costs 300 Solash, and the 1300 one costs 1500 Solash, so that one is more bang for your buck there. And these are just kind of like the war resource caches from Battle for Azeroth, so you can send these in the mail to any of your characters. So, I mean, you can send these to a new alt on one of your mains, so they can make their rank 4 legendary immediately. Or you can do the opposite, funnel from your alts to your main, so that you can build out all of the legendaries you want on your main as soon as possible. So this is just, overall, great change. It should be noted that this is Solash, so this is just for ranks 1 to 4 legendaries that we have currently. The bigger upgrades are from the new currency in-game, which is from layers 9 to 12. And that's not account-wide. So just this older Solash is going to be account-wide. But regardless, it's a great change, and I'm happy to see it introduced so early on in the expansion. From there, we have the actual patch notes. So Boomkins saw some buffs and nerfs. So their New Moon talent saw another buff here. So before it had the recharge time reduced, and now it just has a 33% damage increase on the two smaller proportions of it. So really trying to boost up that talent. On the same row, Solstice saw a nerf. Shooting stars now 250% more often from 300%. And then they buffed Stellar Drift after the redesign and nerf. It's now a 50% starfall damage increase. Allows you to cast while moving, but Starfall has a 15-second cooldown. So that's the actual ability Starfall with the cooldown here. It's okay now in burst ad situations, but in general, definitely Boomkin's not going to be very happy that this talent was redesigned in the way that it was. We then have Affliction, so Shadow's Embrace now lasts 16 seconds from 12 seconds. In general, it's still fairly niche there. And their new Conduit, which I mentioned last week, got a hefty nerf. It's now Shadow Bolt deals 20% or drains soul 10%, more damage per damage over time effect on the target. Previously, I think it was like at 33%, but it was much, much higher. And this is still, like, this could still see some more nerfs. This is still doing a ton of damage. But yeah, this is still quite strong, so not too much to worry about their Affliction Warlocks. The Mythic Plus rating is getting updated inside the game as well here. And so some concerns I had last week is that it needed to make sure it had all the features at least that Raider.io had, and then have stuff implemented in game around it. And currently it does now, so it has specific score for the dungeon you're doing now showing, which is a good change for sure. We'll have to see how they roll out rewards and stuff based on the Mythic Plus rating, or if they do it all. I assume that they would, based on them implementing it. But we'll have to wait and see if that happens in 9.1 or maybe in 9.2, or we'll see. Shards of Domination. So this is select gear dropped in the raid can be enhanced by these shards, which are also dropped from the raid. The system's not quite in yet, but we touched on this a little bit earlier with those weird gems that can be socketed into capes. And so pretty much this is just Blizzard's attempt to make raid gear the best in raids, dungeon gear the best in dungeons, and PvP gear the best in PvP. So that's basically what this is. No word yet whether these shards can be used in Mythic Plus as well, though. We'll have to wait and see how that works. Aside from this, we've got a bunch of PvP talent changes and some new rune carving powers, which again we'll go over when those are all out. But the only other thing we have to talk about is the little bit of Valor system stuff, so maybe a little bit of hope for Mythic Plus players. The Valor upgrade system was put in. So obviously these values are all subject to change, but what this kind of, at a first glance, this goes up to 246 right now, which is equivalent to like the heroic stuff. Obviously, this 249 and 252 would make it equivalent to mythic base item level. 252 there is mythic base. Currently not available, but it is in game, so there's the potential that they lock that behind something like a bunch of high keys done. It is in game. Otherwise, though, these Valor costs are all 1,000, which is much higher than you're used to seeing. So my guess here is with the Mythic Plus system is that they're going to try and also change how Valor works. The current Valor iteration is not great, especially with the cap and such. So my guess is they're going to make Valor much more farmable, especially with these higher costs, and remove that cap and make it more similar to Honor as opposed to Conquest, and make the actual acquisition of items the whole Conquest kind of thing. So that's what I hope to see from this. And obviously with the potential for higher key pushers to upgrade up to 252. But again, we'll have to see how the actual implementation goes from Blizzard. We also have some raid testing announced finally. So we have Kel'Thuzad and Eye of the Jailer on Thursday starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then on Friday we have Fate Scribe, Remnant of Ner'zhul, and Soul Render Dormazane all starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then the Jailer's Vanguard on LFR as well. So lots of raid testing happening this week, and if you guys want to check it out, I will be streaming all of that on my Twitch at Tactics. But that is it for this week's beta updates, guys. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to be notified when I post more Warcraft content. And as I just mentioned before, I'll be streaming all of this raid stuff on my Twitch at Tactics, so feel free to come hang out and see some new bosses. That's all for this video, though. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.